Hey, it's Thelisha with Where Baking and Crafting Meet, and I'm back with another video. In today's video, I'll be making a chocolate pound cake. The request was chocolate, and I was trying to think of all the chocolate things I could make. It boiled down to brownies or cake. I didn't want to decorate a cake because that would have went against my quick video path I've been taking. I decided that a pound cake was the way to go. This is probably the easiest cake next to a dump cake to make. The recipe is a pound of everything: butter, flour, eggs, and sugar. Add a little bit of vanilla and a little bit of salt. Now, my recipe calls for melted chocolate if I wanted to make it that way, but I only had 4 ounces left and decided to wing it on the amount of cocoa powder. If you use cocoa powder, you know that the main thing out there is unsweetened, and it will kill sweetness quick. I don't know if I've ever heard of sweetened cocoa powder. If it is, I don't know because I'm not looking to buy it. But anyway, it didn't matter because this cake is going to be drizzled with a chocolate fudge I made off camera. I also added cinnamon too. So this is kind of a cinnamon chocolate cake. For those that go crazy when they see the milk being added. I know that pound cake doesn't have milk in it. Neither does my recipe. Nor does it have baking powder. But I added just a little bit anyhow. The milk will make up for not using melted chocolate. To top off this almost not pound cake due to all the changes I made. If you haven't noticed by the 2 sticks of butter, that's not a pound of butter either, and I didn't use my loaf pan. This is more like a half-pound cake. I used 8 ounces of everything, not including the milk, vanilla, salt, cocoa powder, and baking powder. Those were my winged ingredients. The method of mixing I used is the creaming method. For those that don't know what the creaming method is, it's when you alternate the dry ingredients with the liquid ingredients after creaming your butter and sugar together. If you say, well, why the hell did you have the cocoa powder with the sugar instead of the flour? 1, because I didn't sift the flour and cocoa powder. 2, I didn't use a sifter at all. I tend to break a few rules when I know it isn't going to mess with the quality of the cake. But for those that want to know the proper creaming method, cream sugar and butter in 1 bowl. Combine flour, salt, and baking powder in another bowl. Combine eggs, flavoring, and milk in a 3rd bowl. Add, starting with the flour mixture a 1/3 at a time, and then half the egg mixture. It should go 3 dry ingredients and 2 wet ingredients. You should end with the mixture you started with. Mix until combined before adding the next addition. This allows everything to come together properly and prevent overmixing. I just wanted to give everyone a heads up on how things are going with the website switch. Not sure if I mentioned this in one of the last videos, but I know I did in the group. I will no longer be using WordPress. I'm going to miss them dearly, but it's not worth the cost anymore for less traffic. I've been with WordPress since 2016. I had more traffic before I had a paid plan and started adding products. You would think paying for something would be better than the free version, right? I went from hundreds of visits to hardly any. But that's another story, not for another day though. I'm leaving that behind. I use Square for my website now, not Squarespace. I split the stores into 2. The Sweets has its own and Bakers and Crafters has its own. I've been using the Square system since 2014, I want to say. My only gripe with them is that I can't sell digital downloads for immediate use by the customer. I would have to check my orders and send them the file. I mean, I can do that, but right now, digitals are only going to be available in my Patreon shop. Yes, you can visit it without being a member. When I get around to it, I may put them in my Etsy shop as well. Well, that's it for me, y'all. Thanks for stopping by. I'll be posting the recipe on the Sweets website in the recipes section. The links to both websites are in my link tree in the description. Wait, one more thing. Measuring your ingredients for baking is more accurate. It's not a must, but I find that it's better than whipping out a bunch of measuring cups. If you don't have a scale, but want one, head to the nearest Walmart and get you one. I had a scale from there, but I broke it. Never again. The one I have now is called Perfect Bake. It came with the 3 bowls you see me using here and the scale. There is also an aux cord that you can plug into your phone or tablet. The Perfect Bake app has recipes that you can use and measures the ingredients exactly. I had this one for years. The app is really fun to use, and it has a pantry list in there to help you keep up with what's in your cabinet. It has shopping lists too. They have one for mixed drinks too. I wanted to get it because I like mixing drinks just as much as I like baking. That comes from my time as a cocktail server bartender. I'll put the link for the Perfect Bake in the description for those that want to check it out. Also, when it comes to scales, if you bake a lot, don't get the Walmart scale. I believe it was the Mainstays brand with the glass top. I think I went through two. Get either a Perfect Bake or another scale that has good reviews and better sensitivity for lighter ingredients. Even better if you can calibrate it. This one does ounces, grams, and pounds with ounces, and you can calibrate it. I think the Mainstays only does ounces and grams.